Time for our Tri-State Office Furniture tweet of the day. This one comes from Jake Trotter. He covers the Cleveland Browns. He says quarterback Baker Mayfield will start Sunday against the Steelers. Coach Kevin Stefanski just announced. So that is one of the things we know. Now, granted, the Browns have quite a few injuries that they're dealing with right now in that locker room, but Baker Mayfield is expected to start in this game against the Steelers. And by the way, Paul Zeise, Josh Taylor here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook. Paul, we got a tweet from George who says he likes the Steelers to win 20-17 Sunday in a hard-fought AFC North game. What are you thinking? I know it's just early, but
I think it's good news that the Steelers are going to face Baker Mayfield because I feel like, I'm not a big fan, but the other part of it is I can't imagine he's 100% healthy. He just had a fracture in his shoulder with, and had to go to like 3 doctors to finally find one to clear him.
Right.
To me, I think, 100% of Case Keenum is probably better than whatever percentage of Baker Mayfield they're going to run out there on Sunday. But I think the other part of it is, Josh, just like we talked about Kenny Pickett, Baker Mayfield is a guy who doesn't seem to understand how to avoid the big mistake.
True.
And so, that to me is probably going to be the difference in this game. Now, I will say this, they got both their tackles back.
Yes.
They got Nick Chubb back. They got Landry back, and they got Beckham back. So their offense is going to be much better around the quarterback than it was in the last game. But I just don't know how much Baker Mayfield legitimately is going to have.
I'm glad you brought it up that they have 2 of their tackles back in Nick Chubb. We're talking about the #1 rushing offense in the league. They're a better rushing offense than Tennessee, if you can wrap your mind around that, because Derrick Henry might have 1,000 yards like tomorrow, but Cleveland's got the #1 rushing offense in the game. That's how good they've been running the football, that they're still better than Tennessee, and Tennessee's got Derrick Henry. That's putting that in perspective for you. I want to bring this back around to Pitt because I teased this before the break. The Sporting News put out a mock draft, I believe, within the past 24 hours. They mocked the Steelers picking 18th. And with that 18th overall pick, the Sporting News has the Steelers taking Kenny Pickett. Are you ready for the firestorm of just craziness surrounding that possibility? Let me kind of shape this question a little bit better. I did the Bill Parcells test last Sunday on my radio show. I did the 7 criteria that Bill Parcells had for drafting a quarterback, and it turns out Kenny Pickett met all 7 of those criteria. Are we really entertaining the thought of Kenny Pickett mid-first round draft pick as a quarterback, Paul?
Well, let me just say this. If the Steelers draft 18th, that means they missed the playoffs.
That's true.
If my math is correct, and I think my math is correct.
That would be correct.
So it means they missed the playoffs, right?
Yep.
So that would be the first thing about that probably fans around here wouldn't like. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that Kenny Pickett has worked his way to where he's a first or second rounder probably, or at least somebody that's on those boards. I think the biggest thing, though, is are the Steelers going to take a quarterback from Pitt? Are they going to take a local guy or whatever you want to call him? Are they going to take a quarterback? The other part of it is if he continues to do what he's doing, I don't know that he'll still be on the board at 18. So
that's what I'm thinking.
It's a fun topic and whatnot, but to me, I feel like there's a real long shot for that to happen.
I've been talking about this a lot because if the Steelers pick 18th, like we're talking about, just for the sake of argument and what the Sporting News had mocked, that means there were 17 teams that were either, at best similar to or worse than the Steelers. And of those 17, I could probably tell you 8 or 9 that probably need quarterbacks right now. And those 9 teams probably won't let Kenny Pickett get away. Or whether it's Matt Corral or Bryce Young from Alabama or whoever else is considered a prospect that could go in the first round. Those teams are probably going to snatch those quarterbacks up because they need those guys. I'm worried about the Steelers picking at 18, and he may not fall to them because I'll say this again. There are quite a few teams that need quarterbacks in this league. I've said this before. The QB thirst is real. Just keep that in mind